Hi, it's Mike with the Portage County Safety Council. I'm here with Chelsea Gregor from Main Street, Ravenna. Welcome, Chelsea.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We're also here with Nick Koya from the Safety Council and also the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation. Welcome, Nick.
Hey, Mike, how are you today?
Good. So, Chelsea, we're here to talk about the Main Street Mile. But before we get into that, do you want to tell our listeners a little bit about Main Street Ravenna, what it is that you all do over there?
Yes, Main Street Ravenna is a downtown revitalization organization. There are other main streets throughout the U.S., so we are just one branch of that. And our goal is to help revitalize downtown Ravenna, get people involved, do fundraisers, activities, and just improve what we already have.
I love it. So in the process of working to improve Ravenna through Main Street Ravenna, you came up with an idea, didn't you? A really good one. That's why we brought you on. Tell us how the idea began to unfold. You know, we'll get into the details later, but right now, just what happened? How did this process start for the Main Street Mile?
Sure. So it couldn't have happened without Dennis West. He is I work for the city as well, City of Ravenna. And Dennis West is the Economic Development Director. So I am somewhat new to Ravenna, been here a year and a half. So we would talk about Ravenna, how beautiful it is. And so he came into my office one day and he was showing me aerial shots of downtown. And he had a segment marked off. And I said, "That's it? That's how far it is?" He said, "Yeah, it's not far." So I would go out walking on my lunch breaks and I said, "You know what, let me measure this, see what we got going on." And just almost perfectly from Sycamore Street to Clinton Street was a half mile.
So you just took a little like GPS app on your phone or something?
Yeah, like a running app.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And yeah. And so I said, this is like the Main Street Mile. We're on Main Street. It's a mile. This could be something. And so I just continued to do my walks and think about it. And eventually I pitched it to the board and they said, sure, go for it. So I've just been spent the last year working on it, and we just did our grand opening. So
for those that don't know, and maybe they saw it in the Record Courier or some other like social media post or something, but what exactly is the Main Street Mile? Tell us about like what you see in the future, where it's going.
Sure.
That kind of stuff.
Absolutely. So the concept is multifaceted. It depends on who you're talking to, and it could mean different things for different people. But essentially, the Main Street Mile is a 1 mile walking loop that helps curate downtown, the heart of downtown.
And as you're talking, not to interrupt you, I'm just going to share my screen so anyone watching can see that. And if anyone's listening through the podcast, you can check this out on Main Street Ravenna's website. So I'm going to go ahead and share that. There you go. So everyone can see what you're talking about. Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. So the focus of the Main Street Mile is business, history, and health. So you'll see on that is every 10th of a mile will have decals so people can measure their walking. We're going to have QR codes on the decals so that people walking by can say, what is this? And click it. They'll find out about it. It'll go straight to our Main Street Ravenna page.
That is so cool. I love that. That is so awesome.
Technology.
Yes.
And then, of course, it'll give business foot traffic because there are amazing businesses downtown. Really cool, unique, independently run. And so then also the history. We have fantastic architecture, old architecture. And so this walk just really allows people to say, to have a safe, comfortable, curated walk that an organization backs and says, check it out.
That is really awesome to see. I think this is a great idea. And I think it provides a lot of innovation for the city of Ravenna, but also other cities, municipalities to start thinking about. One of the things we often talk about in safety and health is it's no longer just about safety, it's about the health and wellness of our workers. And what better way to encourage these small business workers and employees to get out on their break and go for a walk and learn more about the area around them and potentially network with other businesses and build stronger relationships. I really like this. This is really innovative and really outside the box thinking that could be applied in cities, but even industrial parkways. You know, if you have an industrial parkway like this,
Absolutely.
encouraging that networking and getting out. Really excited to see things like this happening in Portage County.
I grew up in Garrettsville, and we had a little Main Street area. I lived there several years in an apartment. I loved walking downtown, especially at nighttime. There's just a different lure about it. And sometimes we have something right in front of us that we just have to look at it in a different way to really appreciate it. And I've been around Ravenna my entire life. And so walking through Ravenna, I just don't have the appreciation, or driving through there during the day, as I do. And then one time, um, I went to the movie theater in town that's recently been up for a couple of years, and they've done a great job out there. And then driving through the town at night, which I don't do very often, going through there at night, I was like, these buildings are beautiful. The Eiffel Tower thing they have there in town, I don't know what it's called, lit up, and I was like, I made fun of that my entire life. We're trying to be like little, like, whatever, Paris or whatever, and I'm like, but now I see the beauty in it. And driving through Ravenna, and we all know, like, when you drive somewhere, you get a little bit of perspective. When you get on a walk, you really take in the details and really take that in. And Nick and I have done several podcasts, also, Chelsea, with Portage Parks. And one thing we often talk about is, the concept of, hey, I love the trails and I love the adventure of that. But if I know I have a certain amount of time, like you mentioned on your lunch breaks, if I have 30 minutes, or if I have an hour, I know exactly, I want to go somewhere I'm familiar with that I can explore. I know exactly how long it's going to take me to kind of fit it in that day. And so this is perfect. And in addition to that, taking a stroll, you have all these businesses right there in Main Street. You have delicious food. We know Nick and I are big fans of Guido's, and get the meat roll. Or if you're in the store, I know they've probably closed a little bit because of COVID, but get the lasagna. It's amazing. There's so many cool little places to check out. We have a jewelry store. There's a bakery with great cream sticks. I ate too many, as you could tell. But what a cool concept. And I love this concept because, we talked before, just rethinking what's right in front of us is the easiest transition to revitalizing the city, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So Chelsea, what was the response from the businesses when you started unveiling this Main Street Mile?
I got a lot of positive feedback, which, I mean, how can you not love it? But it was, I think that people got to see that, there was something that was being curated to help them, in such a simple concept. That's really, it's for the businesses. We want them to thrive. We want people to see them and notice them. And so, we're just hoping, and we will do events that market the Main Street Mile. It has a really catchy name, and I think that will help draw people to downtown and to visit these businesses. So we did have, businesses support us when we were doing the grand opening, and they were promoting specials. So it's been positive.
That's awesome. And Ryan at the Ravenna Chamber is on fire doing all this crazy stuff. It's amazing.
Yes.
I think just so pieces are falling together for the good of the Ravenna. And I had a mentor years ago, Chelsea, that talked about, he had this concept. I loved how he phrased it. He said the soul of a city. It's kind of what he referred it to. And he was from Brunswick, but he had a real strong passion for the city of Cleveland. And he began to talk about, historically, we all know the story of Cleveland, right? It's a mistake on a lake. You could be from Pittsburgh, you could be anywhere else. And you've heard that, or you made fun of it, or you said it yourself, like I have for many times. The mistake on a lake, you kind of made fun of it. But there was a campaign that came out from just different people, and a lot of it was grassroots. I think it was the Cleveland Clothing Company. They started coming out with hashtag CLE and CLE love, and they started making T-shirts about loving their city. And the Cavs won the the championship, so that helps, obviously. And then the Republican convention comes down, love them or hate them. They came and business jumped on board to revitalize the town, to be able to bring more things in. And the draft came to Cleveland, and all these different things started coming. And what over the last 5 or so years, and probably going back a little further, you seeing like an attitude shift. Well, you never really hear the mistake on a lake anymore, unless it's out of state, someone trying to poke at the Browns or something to make fun of them. But people in this entire region view Cleveland in a completely different way. And the amazing part about it is it started like almost grassroots by what's different now than it was. Okay, they may have cleaned up a few things here or there, but it's really just taking a look at what you really have and just seeing how you can make some small improvements and then how you communicate it. And so what you're doing here with the Main Street Mile is just like, I want to go walk this thing. I want to take my wife and son and go walk at nighttime. And I don't know if I've ever said that for Ravenna. And I'm not being mean about that. I'm not insulting Ravenna. It just never on your mind. Hey, let me go. I'm waiting for some kind of event that we could go to, like some kind of Christmas in the woods, walk downtown, Midnight Madness thing where, hot chocolate, coffee, something, and we could go take the family and just kind of roll around Ravenna at nighttime and see the lights and the reefs and stuff in the winter. So thank you so much for this. This is amazing. I feel like this is going to be that catalyst, like we talked about for Cleveland. This could be the catalyst for the city of Ravenna.
I really appreciate that. It's I could never have done this alone. I love hearing feedback. I love hearing input. It's been a group effort, but it's going to be a group effort to really collectively add, to the mile, to make it fun, to make it engaging, entertaining, just a draw. And yes, it's I do believe that it is something that will help be a piece to the puzzle to help propel Ravenna.
If people fall in love with their city, everything else is easy. All the politics of getting whatever it is, this and that, and zoning. I know every city in Portage County that can be tougher in America, just how we are, right? and going through all that. But if you get people to fall in love with their city, the demand is there. Everything else just falls into place, doesn't it? And so I think this what Main Street Mile does for me. It's given me a new love for Ravenna that I haven't had maybe ever. And so thank you very much. This is something definitely noteworthy. That's why we want to have you on here. Is there anything else you'd like to say about Main Street Mile or Main Street Ravenna before we get off here?
Yes. So Main Street Ravenna, we are actively seeking new committee members, volunteers, and especially board members. So we would love to have more people involved. We want diversity, and there's something about a variety of input that just helps make and curate a downtown, because we are a melting pot and we have a lot going on. We are the county seat. So that I would just like to encourage people to be involved. The more the merrier.
And do you have any advice for other towns like Garrettsville, Manaway? They're doing their own revitalization projects. We know the city of Kent looks nothing like it did 15 years ago, and we're thankful for that. And that's impressive as well. But Streetsboro, all these towns, do you have any advice for them to start something like this?
I think that you brought up a good point, is that people need to fall in love with their town. That's huge. And utilize what you have, utilize your architecture, bring all those positive aspects to light. Because I know that a lot of people being born and raised somewhere, they tend to kind of be immune to the beauty around them. And that's kind of what helped me here in Ravenna, is that I'm not from Ravenna. So of course, when I saw it, I said, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. And so I would definitely say, work on feasible things, what you have, and just grow a love for it.
Nick,
That's
any
awesome.
final thoughts?
Yeah, no, I just want to say, congratulations on this project. This is great. And this is just another tool for businesses, be it industrial or cities, of finding ways to get our workers and our communities healthier here in the great state of Ohio. Another way for us to promote businesses and support each other and network as we move forward. So, innovative ideas like this is what drives counties, cities in the state. So congratulations on this project. And I look forward to seeing what other communities can come up with and how we can continue to support each other and grow.
Chelsea, Nick, thank you both for joining us today. If you're out there listening to this, and get involved with your community. If you're in Manaway, there's a revitalization project there. I know there's a Main Street Kent, a Main Street Ravenna. There's tons of stuff in Streetsboro, tons of stuff around these smaller towns, Garrettsville and Windham. People are always looking for someone else to get involved. Like you said, you want diversity, different opinions, different ideas. And sometimes, like you said, all it takes is a fresh set of eyes. So if you're listening to this, be that fresh set of eyes. Get involved with your city council. You don't have to get involved with all the political stuff. Get involved with your local parks. A lot of people have these like Streetsboro Strong or some kind of charity or PTA kind of thing to get involved and get in the community and help make Portage County just a more beautiful place to work and live. So everybody out there, thank you and be safe.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.